اللهم صل على محمد يا رب صل عليه وسلم اللهم صل على محمد يا رب صل.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah al-Hujuraat, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون. I want to take a look at this verse from three different angles, particularly the first part of the verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. First and foremost, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses a particle that's really unique in the Arabic language, إِنَّمَا. What إِنَّمَا does to a sentence that is coming after it, it emphasizes the concept that is being addressed. Along with the emphasis that it puts upon the sentence that's after إِنَّمَا, it also makes it specific, or it also makes it defined at the exclusion of any other possibilities. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا, and then He says, al-mu'minun, the believers. Now this is the second thing I want to look at. The believers. The fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, al-mu'minun, and He puts an alif and a lam before mu'minun, that shows you that this is a general word, a general noun. So it's referring to any possible individual that has the trait of al-mu'minun. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues and He says, ikhwa, brothers. Verily, believers are no more than brothers. That's how far we've gotten. But something unique, and this is the third point about the word ikhwa, is that it is the plural of the word akh. Now in the Arabic language, it's extremely vast. So there's a number of different ways you can make a singular noun into plural. Over here, in this word, you can make akh into either akhun or ikhwan or ikhwa. The word ikhwan and ikhwa are the most commonly used plurals or plural forms of the word akh, brother. Brothers, the most commonly used ones are ikhwa and ikhwan. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose deliberately to use the word ikhwa. Why not ikhwan? Well, the word ikhwan is more suitable based on our understanding, because the word ikhwan is used for the type of brotherhood that a person has with another individual who's not, his blood, who doesn't have ties of kin with this individual. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala still chooses the word ikhwa. He's trying to send a message here, that the type of brotherhood that believers are supposed to have amongst each other is the type of brotherhood that real blood brothers are supposed to have with one another. Ikhwa, as I said, and also as Al-Jawhari, the famous lexicographer, mentioned, ikhwa is used for blood brothers, whereas ikhwan is used for friendly brotherhood. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses ikhwa to tell you, dear viewer, to tell you, dear brother, to tell you, dear sister, to tell me and all of us that the believers amongst themselves are like true and blood brothers in terms of the love, in terms of the rights, in terms of all of those things that one is supposed to have towards his real or blood brother. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to say over here. Now let's take a look at the verse all over again with all of these three things in mind. Innama, it's going to emphasize at the exclusion of any other possibility. So you can't come and say afterwards, Innama al-mu'minuna ikhwa, verily all believers are brothers, with the exception of the innovators, with the exception of the ones that do this, with the exceptions of the ones that do that, with the exceptions of any of those things. Whether it be some sort of bid'ah or something that you disagree with, or any of those matters, you cannot say that this brotherhood that is being established by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this verse excludes them, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was very particular to use who? To use the word innama. So no other possibilities can come into the picture. al-mu'minun, and then he makes it general and he says every single believer. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to top all of that up, he says the brotherhood that's there is the brotherhood that should be between blood brothers and not just any brothers. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to strengthen the brotherhood amongst the believing men and to strengthen the sisterhood amongst the believing women. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.